Today, we're going to talk about finding a job when you have no experience. This is a little bit of that chicken and egg situation where in order to get experience, you need a job. In order to get a job, you need experience. So how do you go about tackling that? Listen, I've been in that exact same situation. Many of my students have been in that exact situation. It might seem like an impossible task. It really isn't if you focus on the fundamentals that I will lay out for you in this video, okay? Now, given that you don't have experience, it's a very vague way of saying it, okay? You obviously have some experience from your school, some experience from your extracurricular life. It's a matter of how can you make that experience seem relevant to the job you're applying for, okay? Now, if you've been applying to a whole bunch of jobs with no experience and you're not getting calls back, I can tell you you've got a few problems. The first problem might be applying to a job you're just not qualified for, okay? Suppose a job is looking for 2 to 3 years of experience in a particular software and you've never used that software before. Well, guess what? You're not really qualified for that. You have no experience with that. You shouldn't be applying to that in the first place, okay? The other thing might be maybe it is something that you're interested in. Maybe your education was in something like accounting and you applied for an accounting job, but then your resume might not really be good. And this by far is the biggest problem I see. People apply to jobs with a half-assed resume, with a resume that's not professional. It doesn't have the kind of experience they need to have, and they don't know how to sell it. So if you want to know properly how to fix up your resume in a way that it stands out, check out my free PDF in the description. It goes through my top 10 tips that you should implement on your resume. Okay, so resume, absolutely huge component of applying for jobs. Now, when you're looking for a job, when you don't have any experience, the whole idea is looking back at your personal life, looking back at your school, looking back at high school, and finding transferable skills, okay? Number one of the biggest transferable skills you will have, and this pertains to any job you apply to, is going to be communication skills. No matter what job you apply for, they will want you to have good communication skills. So find examples of times you worked with a team. Maybe you led teams. Maybe you were interacting with customers, maybe on your part-time job. If you didn't have a part-time job, maybe you were doing something in events in school. Anything you can find to show that you had communication experience. If you look at a lot of entry-level jobs, and if you have no experience, you'll probably be applying for entry-level jobs. You'll see they look for someone who's collaborative, someone who has team working experience, someone who has communication expertise. These are the things you really need to highlight. So look back in your time in school, any presentations you might have done, any events you might have made, list those down on a piece of paper and then see, okay, how can I make these fit the job description? How can I make it relevant, okay? Put yourself in the shoes of the employer. If they're looking for a person and they have specified in the job description, we're looking for A, B, C. These are the 3 things we want in a person. Ask yourself, how can I take whatever experience I do have and connect it to what they're looking for? That's essentially what it is. You're connecting any experience you have to that. Now, because you don't have any work experience, the most important part of your resume, the most important part of you selling yourself is going to be your education. So mention your education, any training, any certifications, any online courses you've taken, mention that really high up on your resume because you really want to stand out when you don't have work experience. If they open up your resume and the first thing they see is maybe you've spent 2 months working in your mom's garage or something like that, not really going to do well to sell yourself, okay? Now say you're applying for a technical job and they're looking for someone who's got a lot of experience putting computers together, and you've done that yourself. You've done that for yourself, you've done that for your friends, or you just have an interest in putting computers together. You can put that on your resume. You can put all these activities there because they're directly relevant to what they're looking for. Another thing overlooked, a lot of people think, I don't have any work experience, so how can I put anything on my resume? Well, maybe you have volunteer experience, maybe you have extracurricular experience, maybe you worked at a charity, maybe you helped a friend of yours move something or whatever. Anything that you have done that helps you help other people, that is a vital skill, that is experience, that is something you can have on your resume, okay? So dig deep, really find the skills that you have, and you have skills, all of us have skills. Find the experience you have and find any certifications, any training, any education, and bring them up on your resume, because when you apply to jobs, your resume is going to be the first point of contact with all the employers. So it is more important than ever before to have a very, very good resume. Once again, check out my free PDF in the description where I tell you all about what to do on a resume. If you'd like more step-by-step instruction on how to make your resume from scratch, every single line, check out my full course in the description as well. I hope this helped out. If it did, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next one. Take care.